Welcome back to the Salty Podcast, streaming live from the Florida Keys. Tonight's sailor guest is Olivia Wyatt. I'm sorry, I had technical difficulty there already. Back to the podcast for her second appearance. You may know her online as at Wilderness of Waves, where she shares her solo adventure with unique storytelling and a great vibe. She recently completed a 26-day crossing of the Indian Ocean, navigating tropical depressions, deep solitude, and waters known for piracy. Tonight, we'll dive into the passage what it demanded mentally and physically, and what she discovered about herself while alone at sea for nearly a month. We'll also touch on a recent pirate attack that happened in the same waters shortly after she passed through. Before we get underway, if you enjoy these sailing stories, please like, subscribe, and share this video. And there is another way you can support the podcast since it operates in the red, is to check out my new shop at Salty Podcast, myshopify.com. I'm wearing one of the PDF shirts right now. It's got the logo in front and back, but my favorite part is the sailor written down the sleeve. So you'll instantly be identified as a sailor and not just a boater. There are some t-shirts there. I hope you'll check them out. I'm Captain Tinsley aboard Salty Abandon and Island Packet 320, currently in the Florida Keys, and this is episode 84. Please help me welcome Olivia Wyatt. Hey, sorry about that. I'm over here pressing buttons and nothing happens. So welcome back.
Thanks for having me back.
So we were just talking about you being on a boat holiday. You just crossed the Indian Ocean recently, and now you're back at home. Is that right? Is that Arkansas?
Yes, I haven't been home in over a year, so I came back just for the holidays. But I crossed the Indian. Well, I sailed from Thailand. This year I sailed from Thailand down to Sumatra. I crossed the Indian Ocean and then went down the Mozambique Channel, and I've made it all the way to South Africa. I'm in Richards Bay, so on the Eastern Cape.
Yeah, where were you in January?
Last year,
Yeah.
Thailand.
Well, 2025. That's where you were when I interviewed you?
Yeah, I was in
Okay.
Thailand.
So you made it.
I was doing a refit, yeah.
Okay.
So I got back in the water in April, and then I did a fundraising charter on a catamaran, and then I left right after that and started making my way.
So before we jump into the Indian Ocean, tell me about getting from Thailand to the Indian Ocean. How was that? Was it uneventful? Was it fun? What was it like?
Yeah, it was pretty mellow. I just sailed down to Sumatra, which is part of Indonesia, and it's very close to the equator, so there's not a lot of wind. And I had to slowly work my way south to get below the equator, and then I sat there and I waited for some trade winds so that I could get going across.
So it's becalmed there, right? It's becalmed at the equator.
Yeah. And you have, you can ride the big storm systems. That's what I was sailing around the equator for about a year. It's really kind of, it's challenging because you just drift. Like you just drift. If you don't want, I don't motor a lot, so I just end up drifting a lot and waiting for wind. And when the wind comes, it's usually on the back of a storm. So I just ride storms across.
Oh my goodness. Is that get a little scary riding a storm across?
I guess so, because you never really know how much wind it's gonna be packing. And I've had some hairy situations where I just thought like, oh, the wind will be in the 40s, but it was like upper 50s when this.
Oh my goodness. And how did your boat handle that?
Fine. How did the captain handle it? She was just like praying and trying to keep the boat sailing. I mean, all I could do was furl the head sail and then blow the main sheet, and then I just had to ride it until I felt comfortable, because I have to go up to the mast to put a reef in or drop the main or anything. So I just had to wait until I kind of like felt comfortable. I mean, it took me 45 minutes before I could get up there.
Oh my God. And that was
I was just having to keep the boat from rounding up and stuff.
Oh God. That does sound scary.
Yeah, it was like, oh, it took every inch of me. You know, it was like tripoding my body in the cockpit, trying to keep the helm.
And you were strapped in, hopefully.
No, but I did, like, I was able to steer and then reach in and grab my PFD and my tether. I mean, I honestly just thought it was going to be in the 40s when it hit, because all the squalls I had that day were in the 40 range.
And this happened when you were near the equator.
That was it was between Papua New Guinea and Indonesia. So yeah, equator.
Yeah, I saw some of your posts along the way, and it looks like you met a lot of people. You were enjoying the culture everywhere you went. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, maybe thinking Madagascar, or
I thought I saw Thailand. I thought I saw
yeah,
some
Thailand.
posts. Yeah. So let's see. So what stands? Okay, so you finally make it to the Indian Ocean.
Well, yeah, I make it to Sumatra, and then I just had to be really patient, because you know, it would be like, okay, the wind has come up high enough for me to ride it, but and then I'd go and provision everything, and then the forecast would change, and I wouldn't have the wind long enough to get going. So I pretty much just I waited, I think, a month and a half to get favorable winds, because I didn't want a motor at all.
Was that just like a personal challenge? Like I'm not going to touch that motor.
I'm just I'm not really a good mechanic, so I never
Wow.
motor. I mean, I have to sometimes, or you know, like to get into a marina or whatever. But when I'm offshore, I never touch the engine unless I need to top up batteries.
Wow, that is. I'm amazed at that. That's a
Yeah,
lot of self control, but that's a good reason because I'm not a mechanic either. That's a really good reason not to touch the motor.
I'm becoming a better mechanic as I go, but I think I don't trust myself fully yet. And I do kind of, it's like, it creates a lot of panic in me when there's something wrong with the engine, because I'm just like,
Sure. Well, that's cool. Just keep it for emergencies. So, all right. So you made it to the Indian Ocean. What stands out most from this? Well, first of all, how were you feeling when you're like, I'm ready to go across the Indian Ocean?
I was really nervous. I mean, it's a notoriously challenging crossing. Most people will stop along the way, like, let's say, you know, there's Cocos Keeling and Mauritius, like that's a common route to do, and then to South Africa, like they'd go Cocos Keeling, Mauritius, and then I can't remember what's next to Mauritius, and then south of Madagascar and over. But or some people go the way that I went, but they go more north. Or some people go the exact way I went and they stop in Chagos. I just went straight. I just went totally straight across from Sumatra to northern Madagascar.
I'm gonna
So
try
that
to pull
was,
that up to see if I can see what you're talking
I
about.
think it was like 3,400 nautical miles.
Okay, so where did you start out at? You were
I started in Sumatra, and let me see if I can get you the island name. Well, why can't I think of it? Sorry, I'm pulling it up. Oh, I can show you my
I don't know
little
this area at all, so I should have looked at it first. How do you spell that?
Sumatra, Sumatara.
Oh, there it
I
is.
started in Tua Paget,
Sumatra.
like
It's
here.
just it's bringing me to this island. Okay, so
So,
that whole thing is Sumatra. Where's that?
no, there's a lot of little islands off Sumatra.
Okay,
Okay, you can't really see my screen, but
so you went around the bottom of it, or you went around the top? Because I really just
no, I went midway down. I just got below the equator
okay,
to an island called Tua Paget, and
okay,
then I crossed from there.
okay. So it was this. It's. Would you say that's mid or southern ocean, Indian Ocean? What would you say?
I guess it's the, I don't know. I guess it's the
It's.
middle.
It seems like it's south of the Pirates. I know you're going to share something with us, but Um, apparently not. But okay, so tell us about the route that you went across.
So I've been trying to show you on here. I don't know if I could share screen, but I mean, I just went,
Okay, yeah, I see it.
so I just went straight across from here.
Okay.
Am I going the right way with it?
Yeah, I see it. I see it. I've got
Okay.
Google Maps pulled up. Okay. Yeah, so you're kind of close to India, but that's still a long ways away. So tell me about that
I'm like in
route.
the middle of it. Um, well, I went a little bit early in the season. When did I leave? August, and they recommend like September or October-ish. But I just went ahead and went because I knew I wanted to see Madagascar and spend some time there, and I needed to get out of there before the cyclone season started. So yeah, I crossed over and I went the recommended route. Like if you look at oh, what's the book? The guy that started the arc. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I want to know.
Hold on. Anyway, I looked at some cruising guides, and everyone suggested, where you need to be, and to stay
Oh
away
yeah.
from systems. But so I was in that location. I actually got caught in a massive convection cloud zone, and so I worked with a weather router named Des, and he has been helping people get across the Indian Ocean and down the Mozambique Strait for a really long time. He's
Wow.
incredible. And he contacted me and he's like, you need to shoot south now. Get as south as you can. Because the convection clouds, they were stretching all the way from Madagascar all the way over to Sumatra. And that's what brings like really heavy systems.
Okay.
So I've never sailed faster in my life to get below all that. But then I got caught
So
on the,
he contacted you while you were underway after you'd
yeah,
already. Okay. Well, cool.
yeah, he spoke every day
Wow.
through the Garmin inReach.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay. So yeah, he just I'm checking the weather myself out there, but he was also with me at sea, and it was really comforting to have him there.
So young Salt, this is somebody I've interviewed. She started sailing at 60. She says, I want to be Olivia when I grow up. And Bruce Williams says, wish you wouldn't talk about pirates. You're scaring me. We're going to talk about pirates. So, okay. So this,
So I got down below the cloud system, but then a tropical depression developed. So
okay.
now I have to ride the outer edges of it. I never saw less. Okay, I can count on two fingers the number of days I had less than 30 knots out there, and I
Wow.
had a lot of days with 40 plus. So I rode out the edges of one tropical depression, and then it got in front of me and it was hanging out above Chagos Islands, and it was predicted to move and go towards Madagascar. So I was like, okay, great, I'll never see that thing again. But then it just stayed and hung out over Chagos, and I caught back up to it. So I rode the same tropical depression twice out there. The sky was like gray 90% of the voyage. I mean, I just like there were a lot of days where all I could do was be horizontal. The swell was 3 meters, sometimes 4 meters. Um, yeah, it was pretty heavy out there, but kind of
It wasn't so comfortable.
no. I mean, there were nights where I slept on the floor because it was like I know I'm going to get thrown across the boat, so I just would wedge myself like but between the companionway, the galley, and the nav station.
Uh, Bruce, here, I'll let you read this. Bruce Williams says, do you see it?
Yeah. He says you've got balls.
Thanks, Bruce. Yeah, you do. I've done that. I've slept on in the cockpit on just because it was so rough, and I sleep on my legs are like sticking out here. But it does help to be laying vertical when you're in a big wave, especially if you're trying to get a little shut eye, right? So
Yeah.
so what stands out the most? I thank God for this person. Who is it? I want to make sure I make note of it.
Yes, I want to say his name probably. Wait, I always say Des Carson, but I actually think it's Kaysen. Maybe
Okay.
it's Des Kaysen.
Kaysen?
Wait, no.
Is he, how did he find you? Like he was
No,
just
he
on,
didn't. I read all of his articles.
oh,
Okay, I say Des Carson, but it might be, but sometimes it's spelled Kaysen. But he writes a lot of articles on Noonside, which I highly recommend if you're wanting to do this crossing or if you're wanting to go down the Mozambique Channel. Just read his articles.
okay.
A lot of people work with him. I mean, this year he worked with 100 boats that were coming across.
Okay. Is that
So,
something you pay for?
yeah,
Okay. And how do
yeah.
you find him?
I I found him because I read all of his articles and I saw that he's a weather router. But when I was riding or sailing the Pacific, I worked with Commander's Weather, and
Okay.
I just found them like other people recommended them to me. You know, I'm not. I'm taking meteorology courses, but I'm like, yeah, it's nice to work with someone who
I
understands.
would do it. Sure. I mean, even I consult with a couple people about crossing the Gulf of Mexico. It's good to have those people say, "This is what I see, but what do you see?" That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, so you had the heavy weather, and
And
how did you ever think about turning around?
no, I never did. I never was going to turn around. I never want to go back. I want to just keep going forward in life.
You're
But
brave.
I have, I'm not going to say who it is, but there's a friend that is my buddy boat. And we've been buddy boating since Fiji. And they're a lot faster than me. So we always, we just stay in touch offshore, but we're never within sight of each other. If there's wind, like they'll be a day ahead of me in no time. But
That's nice.
they turned around. I
They
think
did.
I think on our third night they turned around because it was so intense. The conditions were so intense, and we had so far to go, and then something on their self-steering wind vane broke, and they were just like, "Forget it. I don't want to be in this for this long." And they've crossed the Atlantic. I haven't even crossed the Atlantic yet. But anyway, he was able to fix the issue, and I convinced him to turn back around,
You
and
convinced them.
yeah, I mean, but I was like, if I said, well, just close your eyes, and how does it feel when you think about going back from where you came? You
Yeah.
know,
Yes.
doesn't feel good.
No.
And but I did contact Chagos because Chagos is a military base, but I contacted them and got permission for us to stop there if we needed for repairs. But then they gave us permissions, but then we couldn't even stop there because that's where the tropical depression was hanging out. So we just kept going.
That's some bravery right there. 40 knot winds, and the waves were, you said three. What did you say?
Mostly 3 meters. Sometimes they went up to 4 meters. Some
Okay.
days.
So 9 or 12 feet.
Yeah, 9 or 12.
Okay. All right. So tell me about one of your followers, I guess it's also one of my followers, said ask her about the couple that contacted you prior to their crossing that had the encounter.
Yeah, but I can tell you about it, but and I made a whole video about it that's on Instagram. It's like the last thing I posted because I've just been on hiatus. But
Right.
we don't know what it was. All I know, so they contacted me. I was on my way. I was in Mozambique, in southern Mozambique, about to arrive to South Africa. And Cookie, who was on board, contacted me and she said, I read your blog. I want to meet up. I'm on my way to Tanzania. We're going to be there for a week and then come back to South Africa. And we had plans, to link up and meet in person. And then the next thing I heard, there was a boat found in the Mozambique Channel with both sailors dead on board, and it was the boat she was on. Um, and so all I know, immediately the news was like, it's pirates, and then they were naming all the wrong places. They were like, it was Madagascar, it was South Africa, but it was Mozambique waters. So I went back and tried to figure out, where were they, what could have happened, and I looked on marine traffic and saw that they passed really close to these islands in northern Mozambique, which ISIS operates out of, and then you also have like a lot of drug runners, and people say that a lot of officials moonlight as pirates up there, and so it's just a kind of a no-go zone. But I don't think a lot of people know that. I know another boat that went to Tanzania, and they didn't know how dangerous it was until they talked to Des, and Des said, you need to cross all the way over to Madagascar and shoot south from there.
Okay.
It's adds a lot of mileage, but it's the safest route if you want to visit Tanzania. But having said that, nobody knows what happened. We don't know anything. We just know that two bodies were found on a boat and they were dead, and that they were near an area known to have a lot of issues.
Was there a cause of death?
No, that nothing. The autopsy, they haven't come out with any report of the autopsy
There was
yet.
nothing visible or anything?
Well, the autopsy was. There's no news. The government of Mayotte, which is French, they came and they got the boat and they did an autopsy last Monday, but there's no other news.
Wow.
But we don't know anything. I mean, they could have been anything. We don't know that it's pirates. I just want to say that, but we do know that they were in an area known for piracy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I'm trying to figure out where that is that you said they passed close by.
Well, if you look at in the map at Tanzania, just south of Tanzania, that whole northern part of Mozambique, there's you see all those little islands there in northern Mozambique, just right across the border from Tanzania.
Okay.
But where the distress signal went out, which has a range of 60 nautical miles, that was 4 days after their last AIS position was on the marine traffic. Then 4 days after that, they were found further south of there, and their boat sent out the distress in an area exactly where I crossed. So we just don't know what happened.
Well, they did send out a distress signal, so that tells us something.
Yeah, yeah, but it could be they got sick. It could be gas poison. It could be food poison. It could be anything, right?
Right. That's terrible. Do you know if there's been any other ones in that area besides that one?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you can check and see. Like, I mean, on some of those islands, everyone was beheaded. But stuff that's happened to sailors. Yeah, there's reports on Noon site, but not specifically that area. I know that there was a research vessel from, I think it was Russia, like a scientific research vessel that got shot at, and they were able to escape it by going to deeper water, and that was right in the area of those islands, but I don't know exactly. I've read UN reports. We don't know exactly who was shooting at them or why, but they. Okay. But then I've read UN reports like cargoes and tankers getting boarded. Right. Then if you go down, and I stopped there, so there's a couple of places where you end up having to stop. A lot of boats will end up having to stop depending on how fast they are, because the Mozambique Channel has southbound currents. And when you get wind shooting up from the Southern Ocean, it creates really steep waves. It's very dangerous to be in the Mozambique Channel when you have southerly winds. So I ended up having to stop 3 times in Mozambique on my way down. And one of the places where I stopped is a national park. And a lot of boats have reported getting boarded there by guys with AK-47s, and extorting them for hundreds of dollars. Has been reported.
I
But
was
that,
under the impression that most of the pirate activity was like north by Somalia or the Gulf of Aden or the Red Sea. I thought it was more concentrated in the north.
but there, yeah, there's pirate activity up there. But I'm just saying this is an area known for.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they will tell you, every government will tell you, you need to sail 150 nautical or 150 nautical miles off the coast of northern Mozambique. It is a no-go zone.
Okay.
Do not sail close there if you can. I mean, some boats, I know some fishermen are still operating up there, but not as far north as those islands are,
Okay.
where their last AIS signal was. But that could not be related to their distress signal. We don't know. They could have sailed past there just fine. But I did talk to one Mozambique official, and he said there's a lot of trash in that area. He said we're trying to clean it up right now.
Wow. Okay. All right. Good to know.
But so there's one national park where boats have gotten boarded. I stopped there. I did get chased by a boat out of there. I had to stop there because of the southerly winds. It's called Bazaruto. And some boats got boarded by guys with AK-47s. They said they were park officials. I mean, I don't know if they were or not, or just pretending to be, but they got, like, I think in some instances up to $200 from the boats. But you do need to pay a park fee to be there. It is a national park. People do pay. I don't know what it is if you're officially there, but in these instances we're stopping for safety due to weather, so we're not clearing into the country.
Right. You're just anchoring offshore or whatever.
Yeah, right, yeah, anchoring in a safe anchorage.
Okay.
But yeah, so you just keep a low profile. You only, as soon as the weather gets good again, you get moving.
And you said a boat chased you?
Yeah, but the waves were really steep. They couldn't keep up. I was just they came out, like, after I left the islands. They came out. I wasn't that far offshore yet, and they came out and they did a dead stop right in front of me.
Yeah.
So then I put out more sail and headed a bit higher on the wind and got around them, and then they circled and they're trying to come at from the side, and then I got too far ahead and they were trying to come at me from behind, but they couldn't keep up. They were in a smaller fishing boat. But I know of other boats who got chased as they were leaving, and the guys were asking for money. So I'm assuming that maybe was what was going to happen to me. I don't know any other reason.
And Olivia got away from That's awesome.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing based on the reports I've read of what's happened on that
Sure.
island that I was at, you know?
Well, I've had that happen in the Gulf of Mexico, where suspiciously someone's right behind me in a smaller boat, power boat that could have gone around me. I'm going 5 knots, and they're following me at the same distance. And I did pull out something to try to show them that I wasn't going to, take any flack, and they went away. I won't say it
What'd
all.
you pull out? A gun?
Which I don't want to get banned. Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
just showed it to them. I went like this. And they went away. And they'd been back there a while. So it was very suspicious that all of a sudden they just take off. I think they were trying to see. I was alone. I think they were trying to see if there was somebody else on the boat. They were like waiting for a man to come out or something. And I was by myself. And
I always dress like a man when I'm in areas that are, something could happen.
is that easy for you to look like a man?
Yeah. In Papua New Guinea, I was like I was scared the majority of the time on the water. I mean, multiple people had pulled me aside from the country, and they're like, do not let anybody know you're alone on this boat.
Right.
And I just wear like a really big oversized jacket and put the hood up and tuck the hair back and
Yeah.
talk like this.
Yeah, I'm a pretty brave person, but I would be nervous about going in that part of the world by myself. Oh, Kim says, you girls are amazing, brave boss women. Well, I think Olivia has proven that that is, and hopefully you have some way to defend yourself.
Um, I don't carry a gun, and I just um, yeah, I was when I was young. I was in a robbery, and somebody's in jail for my attempted murder. So the bullet
Wow.
missed me by 3 inches to my right. So I just like, yeah, I don't know. I've like learned how to shoot a gun and everything, but I just don't carry one. And
You're from the South. It's almost,
yeah,
expected. So Bruce says, and I've heard this before, flare guns at close range. I'm sure you have that.
yeah.
Um, wow. Okay. I'm speechless here, Olivia. Okay. What did your daily rhythm look like going across? There was a lot of challenges. So what was it like? How did you keep your spirits up?
Um, just days that were really exciting. Like one day, I got radioed. So for some reason, my AIS alarm wasn't working. I don't know. In case people don't know what that is, it's like any ship that's transmitting an AIS, you can put an alarm on your VHF and say, I want this alarm to go off, within, if I'm within 5 nautical miles or 1 nautical mile of another boat. And that's one way that I sleep and feel safe.
Yeah,
Um,
that automatic identification system, I believe, is what AIS stands for. Uh,
so
yeah.
mine didn't go off, but I got radioed, and it
Oh,
was this it was this I looked this tanker, it was this like massive right behind me. I mean, it was so close, and he was like, the guy was talking to me, he was so funny, and he was like, what are you doing way out here in these conditions? He was like, you should not be out here, and I was like, oh, I'm going to Sumatra, and we just were talking, and he's like, are you by yourself? And I lied and I said, no, I'm here with my whole family. But it just like I rode the high of that conversation for like all week. I was just so excited that this ship contacted me and asked how I was, and that we
how
chit chatted.
close was that tanker?
He was really close. Like,
You were
I don't
looking up
know.
at him? You were looking
Yeah,
up?
yeah, okay, not that close, but I mean, he was definitely within my range. Like, my alarm should have gone off. And
Oh,
I
why do you
don't,
think
I
it
didn't.
didn't? They're trying to avoid pirates? What?
No,
What's
I
the
don't. I
why
don't
didn't
know
he have
why.
his AIS on?
No, he did.
Oh,
Because when he radioed, I looked and I saw, oh yeah, there he is, and he's only 2 nautical miles away, and I didn't understand why my alarm didn't go off. But I think it's just that VHF is old. Yeah,
okay. On your boat or
yeah,
his?
yeah, yeah, and mine.
On yours. So you're gonna get that replaced?
Yes, ICOM just geared me out with all
Oh,
new
good.
communication systems. I'm super excited.
Oh, what did you get?
Um,
I'm a nerd.
Everything all new. I've got all new handhelds, a new VHF, and SSB, everything.
You got an SSB. Cool.
Yeah,
And what about the radio?
yeah.
What did you say the radio was?
I don't know which ICOM it is. I have to look
I
it
got
up. I don't know the
Standard
number.
Horizon. I had a Garmin on my last boat, but this boat came with Standard Horizon, and I did recently replace it.
Mm.
Well, you're blowing my mind. You're just blowing my mind. It's hard to do that with me. Um,
But yeah, I don't know. The days are like I wake up. I mean, well, I don't sleep that much to begin with, but I check the sails. I clean. I cook. I read. I write.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
very creative. Tell us about the sailing with Phoenix. Do you know who that is,
I don't
Oliver?
know him. I can't speak to him. I don't know anything
Yeah.
about him.
Well, I've interviewed him like 3 times, but he talks about the importance of, and it is important, doing your walk around every day and checking everything, your cotter pins and all kinds of things to make sure, because you were under a lot of stress.
Hmm.
Tell us about what you did every day to make sure everything was still holding together.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. My daily checks. People always want to know. I guess like the mainsail, the preventer, everything, the rigging, the bilge. Yeah.
Did you find anything out of order?
Yeah. My hydrovane was my wind vane was. There's a problem because I had a new stern pulpit made, and
Yeah.
it was touching the vane. It can't touch the vane, so whenever the vane moved, like the whole pulpit was moving, and then
Oh.
it loosened a part of the vane, and yeah, so that was I almost lost my solar panels.
Whew.
One time, like I looked out, and the whole mainsail, like the whole bottom of the mainsail, was filled with water. It was a big storm. It was just like filled with water past all the sail that was reefed down, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just like a big belly of rainwater everywhere. And I had to pull it in and manually get the water out. And um, I don't know. I had to drop the mainsail once too, just because I needed to slow down and try to let the second time that I got in the tropical depression, I was trying to let it get in front of me. So I dropped the main. Then I had a really hard time actually getting it back up. I never dropped my main fully at sea.
No, not even in 40,
No,
40.
no, she can ride 40 knots with only two reefs. But I will furl the head sail. But so this was the first time I rode head sail only. Sometimes when I wanted to slow down, but normally I do mainsail. But
Okay.
she was riding out the 40 plus with just two reefs in the main only.
What? And tell us again what kind of boat you have.
I have a 34-foot Toshing Panda. It's a
Okay.
cutter rig with a full keel.
Okay. And her name is Juniper.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that gives us an idea. Full keel. That's what I have. I'm with Island Packet 320 with a full keel cutter rig.
Yeah, it's
So the
similar.
yeah. Um. So did anything catch you totally off guard? Something you weren't expecting at all? Uh.
I think I knew it was going to be an intense crossing, but I did not expect how intense it actually was. I mean, really.
Sounds it.
And then when I got there's a cape, a northern Cap de Ombre. It's like the northern cape, the cape at the northern part of
Right.
tip of Madagascar,
Sure.
and that was hectic
A little
because
point up there.
yeah, that was really hectic. I hit it at the wrong tide, and so I had the current against the wind, and then the I had the tidal current against the wind and the overarching ocean current. Waves, a wave crashed. It was so massive, came over the cockpit, crashed down into the cabin, like fried my converter. It was nuts, and I looked down, and I was only moving at 1 knot. And so I was like, shit, that moment I was like, okay, I can heave to and wait for the tidal current to switch, or I can put out more sail, but it was 38 knots of wind, and I just was like, I don't really want to put out more sail, like push the boat that way. So then what I did was I turned on the engine and had it at 2,000 RPM, and then the sail that I had out, and I only moved 1 more knot. And it took me forever to get around that thing, but at least I got the waves to stop coming over.
How long did it take you?
I don't know. It felt like forever.
I'm
But
getting stressed thinking about it.
it wasn't
So,
even. I didn't even have that many miles to go. But it felt like
oh,
forever.
right at the end. So where did you go in at Madagascar? I'm looking at a map.
I cleared into Nosy B. So I went all down the coast on the western side and then you see an island called Nosy Be.
There's a lot here.
Yeah. And then I kept going till I got a little bit less than halfway down
I
to
see it.
another cape.
Okay, so you went in so that you had a port at Nosy Oranja? Is that it?
No, do you see Nosy Be? It's also called Hellville. It's that
Oh
one.
yeah, see, there's a lot of nosies. Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's, yeah.
Okay, so you went and then where was your ultimate destination?
In Madagascar, you mean, or?
Yeah, Madagascar.
Oh no, I just like Madagascar was just a stop on my way to South
Oh,
Africa.
okay. So the boat is in South Africa.
Africa. So I went down Madagascar. I went almost. You see where it comes out? It's not like halfway down. You see where it starts pointing out.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I went all the way down to there. I stopped
Okay.
all along the way, and then I crossed the Mozambique Channel, and then I stopped.
The real dangerous part.
No, I wasn't in the dangerous part. I was in the recommended part.
Okay,
The
okay.
dangerous part is more north. So
Okay.
then I crossed over, and I had to stop in 3 places in Mozambique, southern Mozambique, on the way, and then and now I'm in South Africa. Or the boat is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I've
So
Richards
go ahead.
Bay.
Richards
So,
Bay.
Yeah. So when I get back, I'll round the Cape and go to Cape Town.
Okay. So yeah, tell me about that next step.
I don't know. It's so you have to watch the weather a lot sailing these waters. And like I said, the southerlies, you'll get a really strong southerly blow, and then it'll switch. Then the wind will switch to east, and then northeast, and then north,
Hmm.
and then and it'll be steady from the north for a minute. Then you get a strong northerly blow. Then it'll switch to the south, and you really just have to move in tiny increments. And there's the windows I'm seeing are 2 days. I only had one 4-day window, and since I left Mozambique.
Okay. So you're at home in Arkansas now, and you're home for the holidays.
Yeah. Sorry, I
Okay.
said Mozambique, but I meant Madagascar.
Right. Okay. Wow. Okay. So you're going to go around there and then you're going to head back to where?
Well, I'll go back there, and the boat is it's called Richards Bay.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll get to Richards Bay, and then I'll start looking for windows and hop my way to Cape Town.
Right.
And then I need to do some work on the boat in Cape Town. And then
what you going to do?
I want to install the SSB and stuff like that. I'm going to have to ship everything back. So I'm going to ship it to Cape Town. And then I did haul out in Richards Bay and dropped the rudder just to check it, because I thought it was maybe bent. But just the bushing was crooked.
And what caused you to think that?
Because you can see the rudder posts moving in an erratic fashion. It's not a smooth turn. It's jumping.
Yeah.
But the bushing, it was crooked. It was really worn down on one side. So I just had a new bushing made, and went back on the water. And then I do have engine issues.
Oh
but,
no.
But it's okay.
What's the engine issues?
Well, I had the engine rebuilt in Thailand, and then the keyway for the shaft. The shaft goes through the coupling, and then it has a little key, and the key kept vibrating out of the keyway. And so I've been tapping it back in and putting what's it called? Not Tough Gel. The stuff that Loctite. I've been putting Loctite on it. I found somebody that helped me. We realigned the whole engine. We spent 2 days doing that, but it's still coming out. So then now I've put grub screws right on top of the key, but it's like that's not really the solution. Like, why? I've never had to have grub screws there before. Why does this thing keep vibrating out?
Yeah.
And yeah, and some
Could
other
it
little things.
could it be the rough conditions? It just
No, no, it was doing that. It was
okay.
doing that since I left Thailand. When I did
Okay.
my engine check, I saw that the key was halfway out, and I was like,
Huh, it's a good thing you were checking.
"Yeah, you have to check that thing. The machine. The machine is important."
Yeah. Yes, you have to. I just sometimes I'm like, oh, it sounds okay. I guess I'm good. I
No,
don't
you
want to know. I don't want to know, but I do want to know. Um. Okay, let's see. Did you make any changes, specific changes to Juniper before this crossing that really made a difference? I guess that would have been in Thailand.
yeah, sorry about the dogs
That's all
barking.
right. We're dog friendly.
Uh, my sister's like, they're my sister's dogs. What's changed? Yes, I feel like everything I did was very important. I mean, I had a lot of water coming in through the deck to hole joint, so that was something major that I had done. And then I had a new cap rail made, and yeah, that was really amazing. And what else? I think everything that, like cutting the mast, I cut the mast down and a little bit where it was corroding, and they put on
Okay.
an aluminum plate under it. I think that was really beneficial. Yeah, I don't
And
know
how did you discover that?
about the mast.
Yeah.
When we pulled it out of the boat, we
Okay.
could see all the corrosion.
And why
Is
did
it,
you pull it out?
it's just I had never pulled the mast out. I think it's good to check it. And
Wow. That's pretty thorough. I like that. That's great.
yeah, I kind of like unearthed everything. So
Yeah.
pulled out all the water tanks, the fuel tank, everything got pulled out and rebuilt, or cleaned
Was
up, fixed up.
was that in Thailand?
Yeah, pulled the
Okay.
engine, everything.
Is that pretty is it more affordable in Thailand?
I do not recommend it.
Oh,
I kind of regret it in hindsight.
you think it was overkill?
No, no. What I did to the boat was necessary.
Okay.
I think that Thailand is used to super yachts, and I think they kind of look at everyone like they
Rich.
have the budget of a super yacht captain. And I think that you have a lot of skilled labor there. Like there's nowhere else in that area where you're going to find that much skilled labor. But an example is like I was on the hard there for 5 months. I'm giving that, and it's not cheap to be there. And I needed to, because I did notice the rudder thing before, and so I asked them, can they lift the travel lift was right next to my boat.
Right.
Right next to my boat when I figured this all out. And I was like, can you guys just put it under me and lift me up a little bit higher so I can drop the rudder? They wanted $800 to lift me up, a total of a 10-minute job to lift me up just slightly higher. And the travel lift was right there, and all the operators were right there. I mean, that's just like the example of how ludicrous it is.
Yeah. Not one of the cheapest places to do that.
No, some stuff is, some stuff isn't, but I mean, yeah. I just feel like, wow, they
Raked over the coals.
super yacht prices.
Did you do it?
No, that's why I did it. That's why I did it in Richards Bay. I just went with it as is and prayed.
Oh, okay. All right. So, you mentioned about your boat being haunted.
Yes.
I want to hear about it.
I think that the ghost has left me. I don't know. It
Cool.
started with like cabinets opening on their own or closing on their own. Like one time I had to solo open a cabinet. Like no, we could not. There was nothing. We don't know what was wrong with it. Another time I was working on the engine, and I have two headlamps. I bought them at different times. They can both go to a red light. I had one of the headlamps, and then my friend who's a mechanic had the other. I walked away for a minute, and he screamed. I've never heard this. He screamed like he was terrified. And I said, "What is it?" And he goes, the light was just flashing. I said, "Oh, it's probably the batteries or something." And then as I said that, my light started doing. He goes, "See, that's what it was doing." And then when I'd be offshore, like the lights they would always just flash and turn whatever color they wanted. I'd walk by the clock would chime. Anytime I walked past it, it's supposed to chime every hour, every half hour. I'd hear voices, like a lot of voices. But not to mention the fact that like people who have stayed on my boat, let's say I'll be at anchor somewhere and a friend comes with their daughter, and then their daughter will wake up the next morning and she'll say, "Did someone die on here?" I say, "Why?" And she said, "Because they were watching me pee last night. I felt them watching me." And then all the lights in the boat start flashing. Or like, healers or kind of the shamans of Fiji would come on board and they'd say, "Somebody died on here. We can feel their presence." And I've had crazier stuff happen that I'm not very comfortable sharing, but I've written about it. But I mean, stuff to me where, it was like poltergeist, like the things, like whatever is in the boat try to take over my body.
Oh my gosh.
But so I know that, but then when a woman in Fiji, when she felt it, she was like, "Hold on." And she went and climbed a mountain and came back to my boat with all these herbs. And she did this whole ceremony and lit the herbs. And I really haven't had much activity since then.
I wonder if anybody did die on the boat.
I know that I'm the third owner, and the second owner was planning to sail around the world, and he got really sick. And the boat said empty for 10. He ended up dying before he could live the dream, and the boat said empty for 10 years before I bought it.
Wow. And so, when was the last time you had anything happen?
I guess it's been a year and a half now. It's good.
Yay.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of miss because it stopped scaring me. I wasn't scared by it anymore. I just found it was like, I'm not alone.
Yeah, and then they're not hurting me.
Yeah, I named it the Golden Shower Ghost because my friend's daughter was like, "He's watching me pee."
Oh my gosh.
But
okay, let's see. After that passage, anything change about your approach to sailing? Like, okay,
no,
I got to do this, or I don't need to be doing that.
No, I'm getting a new mainsail with a third reef. I mean, I think it was. I wish I had a third reef, and I'd wish I'd had a storm jib out there.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a third reef made, which I'm excited for, and I will say, I think after the refit, because I really did, like, we gutted the boat. We brought it down to its skeleton and put it back. Not me. I mean, well, I did some things, but it was like a team of people. But
right.
It gave me a lot more confidence. So, like, I had less fear, I think. It was like everything's fixable. Like, and I learned so much about stuff I didn't know as far as repairing the boat. And yeah, I think that was a good thing to do. It did before
you learned
crossing
what was behind the scenes in your boat.
Yeah.
Anything else about weather, or would you want to go out in those conditions again?
I'd do it. Yeah, why not? But it's kind of depressing, like to be through what I saw the sun maybe only 3 times that whole journey. There's like I said, I mean, I was just elated by this VHF call, because
contact.
Yeah, but also it's like I didn't even want to go look at the world because my boat gets pretty wet. I get a lot of water on board, and especially in those conditions. So I really would just in the cabin a lot, kind of, imagine it like it was raining for the entire
Well,
time. That's how it felt.
so after you got past the nightmare north of Madagascar, when you got around the tip,
I
well,
felt
how did
amazing.
you feel? How did you feel?
Exhausted and and elated. But yeah, immediately I just turned as soon as I was around and out of the current, I just turned the engine off and let the boat move very slowly, and I slept so hard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I slept, and I just sailed slowly, slowly down the coast. Just and
And
then
how
the
long
next
did it take you to get to that first stop?
no, I stopped before that one, but it took me in
Well,
another
I
half
mean,
a
after you get past around the tip there.
yeah, it took me another half a day.
Okay. So you're
Yeah,
able to get a good nap in.
yeah, and
Um, so when you got to Richards Bay and you stepped off, what was that like?
like I was flying.
Why do you say that?
I just can't believe it. I've never worked harder to get anywhere. You know, I worked so hard to get to South Africa. It was, and sometimes, like I said, I'd have to stop for the southerlies, and I'd be stuck for 2 weeks just waiting for the right wind conditions. And yeah, it was just I had to have a lot of patience, and I had to go through heavy conditions to get there.
Um, Mike says, "What was the biggest surprise on the voyage?" I got to go get another drink, so keep talking. I'm listening.
Okay, I'm trying to think about the biggest surprise. Oh, I just love it. Like, I've been getting surrounded by dolphins a lot. And, just when you're out in the middle of nothing. Oh, can you hear?
I'm here.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying, being out in the middle of nothing and all of a sudden you're surrounded by dolphins. I still love that. Um, but there was nothing really. That's always surprising to me, even though it is now happening quite a bit.
The dolphins.
Yes,
It's
I love
always such a
them.
treat. It's
Yeah,
like the
right?
best. Yeah, it just seems like dolphins are so happy.
They're so happy. I wish I could twirl in the air like they do.
I'm sorry, I'm having this cough attack. But
Are
I
you
want to read a
okay?
Yeah, I'm crying.
Oh no.
There's a comment over here on Instagram. I'm jealous of the folks who are sailing around the world. It's a beautiful lifestyle that I would like to experience. Unfortunately, seasickness gets the best of me. Yeah.
I know, but a lot of people do it that get seasick, and they say that it usually subsides after the third day offshore. So if you can push past that,
Well, that's good advice. So, yeah. Okay. I've not heard that.
yeah. And also, I think people say that they get seasick on monohulls, but on catamarans, they don't get as seasick. So I don't know.
Yeah. They're not they're much more stable.
Are you okay?
Okay. When you go live, sometimes stuff happens, you know. All right. I got a few rapid fire for you.
Oh no.
It's easy.
Can I say skip?
Sure, but
If it's complicated.
it's not. What food will you never leave the dock without?
Rice and beans, because I'm vegetarian and I need that protein.
That's all you need, rice and beans. You got your carbs and you got your protein. Um, okay, I think you'll understand this question. One thing on Juniper that totally has main character energy.
I think that my prisms, right?
About your what?
My prisms, my rainbow prisms.
Well, the boat itself. What about your boat has main character energy? What's the personality of the boat?
Okay, the personality of the boat. I think she's like a bohemian, like gypsy, like psychedelic sea
That
witch.
fits that fits you.
Okay, cool.
um Mike says let's see, one of my seasick passengers on my boat said he thought he was going to die. His biggest fear is he might not.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's no fun being nauseous.
Do
Yeah.
you get seasick?
Sometimes I do, but if I feel like there's conditions, I don't throw up. I might just kind of feel kind of like, you know how your head gets sometimes? Like if you're trying to work on the engine or you're trying to look at something and you're in big waves.
Dizzy? You
Yeah,
get
that
real dizzy?
like whoa, yeah, I got to stop looking at that. Or if you try to
Yeah,
look at your phone, that stuff will happen. But if I think it's going to happen, I'll go ahead and just pop a Dramamine and get ahead of it. It's hard when you get it when you get behind it. It's hard to get rid of it.
yeah.
So I'll go ahead and pop one in, and
Okay,
I'm
so you do get a little
once in a
motion.
while,
Yeah,
yeah. If it depends, like following waves that are coming from the quarter panel, that that feeling of
kind of.
you know, yeah. It's different than going like this or even like this. But when it's going all kinds of like this, that's when I'll yeah. Do you get seasick?
No, never.
That's
Knock
a
on wood.
gift. That's great.
Well, one time I did, but I was hungover, and I
Oh,
don't drink really anymore. I mean, that was a long time ago.
yeah,
So,
best not to do that. Yeah. um okay, somebody's asking about the shirts. Are the salty shirts available for sale? Yes.
ooh,
Woohoo! I operate in the red on this podcast, but I love it. I do it for the love of it. I don't. I'm not. I mean, I'm monetized, but it's very minor. So I just opened the shop. Let me put that up.
what are you selling through? Are you on the?
Shopify.
Oh, okay, Shopify. I know I do the shirts on what's it called? Spreadshirt. My Spreadshirt.
I used to have that one. That's a good one too.
Maybe is
Okay.
Shopify better?
Well, I was looking for these sun shirts, these SPF shirts, and
Yes.
I couldn't find them on that. I think it was that one, but the old one didn't have, and I wanted because that's what boaters like.
Yes, you need
Yeah,
those.
yeah, and I got the short sleeve ones too, and then just regular t-shirts. But I wanted to make it unusual and have this sailor
I
written
like that.
down. Yeah, and like I have white ones with red writing right there, and there's gray and there's black, and there's gonna be more stuff. But I thought that because it doesn't like you have your own boat, you want your boat on your shirt, but this is the Salty Podcast.
Yes.
So and it does have mention my boat on the back, but on the back it says sailing podcast and the logo and everything. So just trying
Let's
to
see. Can we see the back?
yeah. Let me see if I
Cool.
can you
Yeah,
see
that's
it.
great. Yes.
So even if you have a boat and you have shirts with your own boat on, this will be a nice compliment to that.
Agreed.
So this one, someone gave me this service, the Marine Weather Center MWX. Did you use that one to go across the Pacific?
No, I use Wendy.
Okay, but I thought you
Oh,
said you had
sorry.
somebody.
Sorry, across the Pacific. I use Commander's Weather.
Okay,
It's,
all
it's,
right.
it's people. It's like a group of people, and you know, that are monitoring you and monitoring the weather, and they have access to grids from all over.
Well, I think this one is for the Caribbean. But
Yeah,
okay, that's good to know. What's it called again? The one where you use for the
Commander's Weather, but they work worldwide.
okay, Commander's Weather. And then what made you switch? Just because you were contacted?
No, I found him, but I read his articles, and he's specific to that area, and
I see.
I liked that he knows so much about the Indian and about the Mozambique Channel, right? And he's done
Yeah.
it a lot himself, and he helps boats every year do it, so he knows what they've been up against, or what can go wrong, or how to get out of things, or where you can stop safely, stuff like that.
Is he from that part? Where is he from? Is he American or is he Canadian or?
No, he's South African.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Weirdest thing you said to yourself out loud during the crossing? I'm sure you were talking to yourself.
I was singing and dancing and talking to myself. Um, but I never said, I don't think I ever said, I think like, sometimes I maybe yell at myself when it's really intense. You know, like, get it together.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I bet. Um, what land-based thing do you miss the most while offshore?
Bathtubs.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
yes, bathtubs and bibimbap. You know the Korean dish, bibimbap?
No.
It's like it's really good. It's rice and vegetables, and you can put an egg on it or meat on it, and you can get it in a hot stone bowl, and it cooks it. It makes the rice all crispy at the bottom. I
Can you
love
make
it.
that on the boat?
No, I need to take a class in making crispy rice, but
You're class and crispy. There's probably a YouTube video, right?
yeah. Or like tadig, that's another one. Tadig is like a Persian dish that has crispy rice. Anyway,
Well, okay. So last question,
okay.
unless you want to talk about something else. If your crossing had a movie title, what would it be? You're a creative person. I figured that was a good
I
question for you.
know that's a good question, but I have to think about it. And you want me to do rapid fire?
Well,
Uh,
if you need more time,
I need more time.
it was a movie title, like somebody's playing you, and they're doing a movie about your crossing. We could ask
40
Chat
Knot Fantasy. I don't know.
40 Knot Fantasy.
I don't know.
Girl Gone Wild on the Indian
Yeah.
Ocean.
Big skies. Little. I don't know.
That's funny. All right, so the next step is you're going around, because we're going to catch up with you again. You're going to go back, you're going to go around, and you're going to go across the
The
Atlantic.
Atlantic.
Yeah. And where are you going to end up?
I don't know yet. There's some elements of my life that I'm still determining.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people. I'm like, I'm just worried about the next leg.
Yeah, I see to get there.
You got to get to this place so I can make plans to go to the next place. That's what I. Yeah.
Where are you going next?
I've been in marathon for about 2 weeks, and I did have some work done. One of my, you'll like this. One of the bolts that holds down the engine on the mount broke.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Did that happen to you?
Yes, but I was sailing for a really long time with one of them broken, and I didn't
Yeah.
know it.
Yes.
So did you get a new? Did you have? But not the engine mount, just the bolts, right?
The engine mount. Well, a lot has to come out because it's the rear one, and so the flywheel's attached and all this crap. So they had to really do. I called Marathon Diesel, who were great, by the way, and they didn't overcharge me. They came out and they had to take it all out. I did a video on it, and then when they brought it back, it was a new flywheel. The mounts look gorgeous. They're 1998. So they were a little rusty looking, They came back looking fabulous.
Really?
I took pictures of it.
They made new ones, or they just cleaned up the old ones?
No, they just cleaned them up. They sanded them down and painted the whole thing, including the new flywheel.
Cool.
And they said if it could have, what could have happened is could have fallen backwards and water would have come in. So the engine could have fallen backwards.
Yeah. So
And
that's good. You saw it. You saw it. You were looking at the machine.
well, what it was a sound. It was like you start the engine in neutral. I noticed in neutral it was going clank, 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 clank. And then I put it into gear and it stopped. So I would just try not to put it in neutral. This is not recommended. And so when they were here doing something else, I go, what is that sound? I go, it's not good. And I got a video of it, just, it was just free down there.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so it's all replaced. So before I left, I got a new heat exchange, a new fuel pump, and a new mixing elbow.
Because was
No,
all that
this was
stuff
before I
damaged?
left.
Oh, okay.
This is before I left. And so now I have a new flywheel,
And
new bolts.
wow, you did all that in 2 weeks.
Well, just the flywheel, the heat exchange, the fuel pump, and the mixing elbow was before I left. That was like September. And I left around October 1st. I made my way down the west coast across the Panhandle of Florida, down the west coast of Florida. And I've done this route many times. Came to Marathon, and I was going to leave before now, but the weather changed,
Yeah.
and the repairs. And then I was just like, oh, I'll just sit here for a while. This is cool. So,
Yeah.
and
You have to obey the weather. You have to obey the wind.
It's nice not to worry about a time schedule.
Yeah.
So just like go when it's appropriate. I would never go out in 40-knot winds. You are an animal.
No, but well, the boat had seen worse, but then it was like just sustain. It's okay. I was like, okay, it's like 46 miles per hour driving down.
So what was your point of sail? I mean, like, was it a beam reach or was it a
broad? I never had to jibe. I have never done a crossing without one jibe. I did not do one jibe.
The wind was perfect.
Way.
Wow.
It was amazing.
And the waves where were the waves coming from? They were coming from.
Yeah, it's a quarter. I know
my favorite.
But or dead behind,
Following seas. Okay.
Sometimes quartering.
So Mike says, I might have missed a bit. Do we see her films? I'm not sure what that means. I know you used to be did you used to be?
I am still a filmmaker, and my films are the last film I made was called Sailing a Sinking Sea, about a nomadic, like the last independent film I made. Is Sailing a Sinking Sea. It's about a nomadic seafaring community in Thailand and Myanmar that all survived the Indian Ocean tsunami, and I went back 10 years after the tsunami. And
this was before your whole sailing adventure?
Yeah, but this kind of like ignited me getting a boat and moving on board and making the sea my home. And I've been out 6 years.
Wow.
I've been out doing this 6 years now. Yeah.
All right, so this is the guy who works on my boat back home. 46 miles per hour wind. She was trying to see how fast she could go.
I was going fast.
This guy can fix anything, by the way.
Oh, nice. You needed Billy with your engine mounts.
Yeah, I call him. I text him. I go, what do I do now? Even though he's not here. What does that sound? He'll say, he knows my boat. So he'll say, check this, that, and other thing.
That's great.
Yeah. So, okay. So your films, what else we got? Is there anything that we haven't covered that you'd like to talk about?
No, I don't know.
All right.
We did it all.
We're gonna come back and we're gonna get an update.
Okay.
6 months or something.
And and you're gonna be. We don't know where you'll be.
Oh no, I'm headed to Georgetown, Bahamas.
Okay. Oh, fun! I always wanted to go to the Bahamas. I see pictures of it, and it just looks like heaven.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it's from here. I go to. I've kind of plotted I'll go to an Anchorage, Rodriguez, and then at some point I'll end up in Key Biscayne. That's Miami area, and then I'll stage my crossing across the Gulf Stream. It sounds so wimpy compared to your Indian
No,
Ocean
it doesn't.
crossing.
I think the Gulf Stream is hectic.
Well, I was told never to go on any kind of type of north wind because
Yes. You just have the wind against current there too.
and I heard someone that I interviewed say that it's okay to cross at that time. I was just like, wow, okay, I've never heard that because it can just get really wild and crazy out there with
Yeah.
the Gulf Stream going north. Then I'll go to South Bimini, check in, and then I'll make my way around to the West Bank, of Nassau, and then I've got a whole route. I've interviewed some folks that we talked about an extensive, in detail route, what the trade winds do every step of the way. So
Cool.
I seek out those that know weather better than I do. So
Yeah, check Commander's weather. I think it's great to have somebody with you watching that
Sure.
alongside that has access to a lot of models, and
Right. I agree.
they've gotten me out of some pretty hairy stuff, and they're US based.
That's nice. All right. Well, I'm kind of worried about you out there trying to look like a boy, and I hope that works out. So when you leave there, it's a little less dangerous now. Is the trip a little less dangerous as far as
Well, I
places
still,
where you'll be dropping in?
yeah, but I mean,
The
there's a lot of
sailing's dangerous, but I
the
mean,
sailing's dangerous. Well, because the current. Now I'm getting into even stronger current. Like my top hole speed is about to go through the roof.
really, like what?
Yes,
Like how
like
much?
I don't know. Some guy was doing well, it was a catamaran, but he was doing like 20 SOG.
No.
Yeah,
No, no,
like
no, no.
it is crazy. The current is very pumping, but I don't know how he did it. It's just, I guess, with the swell and the current.
Well,
But
you're gonna go around the tip of Africa, so that I wasn't even thinking that, but
yeah,
you're gonna do it piecemeal.
but I'll say this because I didn't really know it and I haven't felt it, but you have to keep your wits about you on land in South Africa. It is high crime, and I mean, if you listen to news, it's like kidnappings and stuff. Like a woman got stabbed the other day over her cell phone. And I love to walk everywhere. A lot of people have stopped me that know me from the marina, and they're like, don't walk, or don't walk by yourself, or please don't take the bush, because there's a lot of paths through the bush, shortcuts and things. And so yeah, be careful. I mean, don't, just be careful everywhere.
And what do your parents think about all this?
Well, my dad passed away. This is our third Christmas without him.
Sorry.
But that my mom thinks I'm nuts, but she's used to it now.
Is she used to it?
Yeah, because now I've been doing it so long.
Yeah.
This is who I
Okay.
am.
God bless her. All right. Well, thank you so much, Olivia. I really appreciate
Thank
you coming back
you.
on. We'll have to catch up again with you. When are you flying back?
January, and so I'll start making my way around.
Okay.
Like as soon as there's a window, the beginning of January.
All right. So you can find her I have it here somewhere.
Wilderness of Waves.
There we go.
Yay.
At Wilderness of Waves, and that's on Instagram, YouTube, all these,
All the things.
all those places, the same things I have. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and have a great sail. And
Thank you.
yeah, I hope the engine is up to snuff now.
I think it's good. It's not making that clank, 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 clank anymore. That's a good sign. I did have to replace the starter when I was in, where was I? Somewhere on the west coast of Florida. Oh, Captiva.
Were
I
you
had
having to
replace
do
the
the
starter.
Were you having to do the screwdriver trick to get it going?
I was afraid to do that. I was talking to Billy, the guy who's on here, and I said, I think I'm going to pass on that, because they said, be careful because you could start a fire. So
Well,
I was a little,
It works though. It's like magic. I had to do that for a while.
and you got your starter fixed now, though.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, you're brave. All right. Well, with that, let's end this. Salty
Okay.
Bannon.